Showtime, 7:30 only each night. Sunday matinee, 2 o'clock, $5 for all seats. Don't forget Wednesday, free small soft drink and a box of popcorn. Each ticket purchase, Gateway Twin, 65 South in Clinton.
Your ticket to a great time.
The Community Affairs Bulletin Board offers you the opportunity to get your word out to the community about your fundraiser, your nonprofit organization, or your community service. Just tell us what, when, where, and why by faxing to 7454084 or bring it to the KHPQ studios on the corner of Main and Grigg Street in downtown Clinton during normal business hours. Let us know a couple of weeks in advance so that we can help you help others.
Jesus and his disciples passed through Galilee, and he taught them that the Son of Man was going to be betrayed, handed over into human hands, be killed, and 3 days later he would rise from the dead. When they arrived at Capernaum, he entered the house and he asked his disciples a question. He said, "What were you arguing about on the way?" His disciples were silent, for on the way they had argued with one another who was the greatest. I'm Tommy Toombs of Renewed Church of Heber Springs, reminding you that Jesus taught if you want to be first, you must be last and servant of all.
And good evening. Our weather forecast tonight brought to you by First Arkansas Bank and Trust Prime Checking Account. It lets you earn up to 4.5 APY balances on up to $50,000. Worldwide ATM refunds, free online banking, bill pay, and more. Certain terms apply. Visit firstarkansasbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC. Weather forecast for tonight, mostly clear. A low tonight of 52 degrees. Then for tomorrow, it's going to be mostly sunny. A high temperature of 82.
It's time now for Yellow Jacket baseball and softball. The Yellow Jackets are looking for another great season. Coach Prince is excited to lead a young team back to postseason play. Meanwhile, the Lady Yellow Jackets coach Brooke Mason in her second year looks to lead an experienced squad back to the state tournament. Follow along for some exciting Clinton Yellow Jacket baseball and softball action right here on Trip 94.7, 97.3. Today's game is brought to you by these fine sponsors: First Security Bank, Justin's Collision Repair and Towing, Joe Lee Chevrolet, Anchor Company Insurance Company, Blag Law Firm, Davis Cash Lumber, Clay Maxey Dodge Jeep Ram, Ozark Health Medical Center, by Goods Cash Saver, by Petit Jean Fiber, and by Conway Regional Medical Center, and by all the fine Yellow Jacket boosters. Live video stream on YouTube and Facebook brought to you by Petit Jean Fiber, by First Arkansas Bank and Trust, and Hogs and Heifers Sports Bar and Grill. And the player of the game each week brought to you by First Arkansas Bank and Trust in Clinton. Now, let's join our announcer for today's game, KHPQ KGFL sports announcer Mike Hawley. Get ready for today's Yellow Jacket game on the Trip 94.7 and 97.3.
Hey, Lady Yellow Jackets softball is on the air. Today, the Lady Yellow Jackets back in conference play, back home on the friendly confines of the Clinton softball field in downtown. And today they take on the Heber Springs Lady Panthers. It's a battle for first place today. It's the Battle of Little Red softball style, as Clinton and Heber Springs will meet for the second time this year. Heber Springs defeated the Yellow Jackets back on April the 8th by a score of 10-7. And today is the rematch here in Clinton. If you're in the area, you still got time to get to the ballpark. We'll start in about 4:30, the first pitch here today. And come on down if you have a chance. Should be a good one here. Also baseball across town as the Yellow Jackets taking on Morrilton in a conference doubleheader at the ballpark up on School Hill. Glad you could join us today. I'm Mike Hawley, and Dusty West, Heber Springs head coach, here with us, and handing me the lineup. And we're glad you could join us today. Heber Springs comes in today with a leading the league. They're 3-0 in conference play, and they come in today with a record of 14-6 on the year. They're 3-0 in conference play. They've won 5 of their last 6 ball games, and they're 8-4 in games played on the road. Clinton comes in 8-4. They've won 4 straight. They're 2-1 in conference play. Jackets played yesterday, beat Penguin by a score of 9-0 yesterday. Heber Springs hasn't played since last Friday when they beat Mount Vernon Enola on Good Friday. They beat the Warhawks 10-2. But both teams probably playing their best softball of the year. Clinton's won 4 in a row. Heber Springs has won 5 out of 6. One common opponent in the last couple of weeks is interesting, as both teams have lost to Harding Academy. Clinton lost 4-1 to Harding Academy, and last week Heber Springs lost to Harding Academy by a score of 5-2. So kind of comparable scores, and they come in here today with first place on the line. It's 3-0 Heber in conference play and 2-1 Clinton. As we said, these two teams met back on April the 8th. Heber won that one by a score of 10-7, but the Yellow Jackets jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the second inning on a Sarah Parrish RBI single. They extended the lead to 3-0 in the second as Olivia Johnson knocked in 2 runs with a hit, and the Jackets led 3-0. But Heber came back in the fourth inning and sent 10 hitters to the plate and scored 6 runs on 5 hits, and they scored 3 of those runs, or 3 of those hits came with 2 outs. Heber jumped to a 5-3 lead. Heber added 3 more in the fifth on 2 walks and a hit. They got 3 runs on only 1 hit, and they led 8-3. But the Lady Jackets rallied, came back in the with 4 runs in the top of the 6th inning. They got 3 hits, 3 big hits in the inning, and the biggest one was a 2-run double by Kaylin Lashley that cut the score to 8-7. But Taylor Youngblood hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 6th to stretch the lead to 10-7, and that was the final that day at Heber Springs. So we are set for softball here today, and it'll be Sarah Parrish on the mound for the Lady Yellow Jackets, and the leadoff hitter for Heber Springs will be Carly Holland, the center fielder. Holland's a left-handed hitter. Parrish is a right-handed pitcher. And we'll get these lineups here. We're going to start a little bit early. It's 4:24. And the first pitch is high for a ball. First pitch of the day at 4:24. Last time these two teams played, the Yellow Jackets have been off for 15 days, counting the last 3 days before spring break and then spring break. And then they didn't play again until that Tuesday. So the Jackets were off. They weren't quite as sharp as they had been. And Heber won the game by a score of 10-7. 2-0 on the leadoff hitter. And takes a strike on the outside corner, now 2-1. Probably Sarah Parrish, a very controlled pitcher, walks very few hitters. That day she walked 5 and hit 1. So she was off just a little bit off that long layoff. She should be, I think, much sharper today. She walked 5, hit 1 that day. And of those 6 hitters for Heber Springs that reached base, 4 of them came around to score, and the Yellow Jackets lost by 3, so you can see how really close it was. Holland fouls it back to the screen. The count's now 2-2. And here's the pitch from Parrish, and a ground ball, base hit. Oh, no, picked up by Newland for the out at first. I thought that was head to right field, and a great play by Dixie Newland. Going to her left, fielded it, flipped it to first baseman Cade Henry, and that's how the first inning starts, on a really sparkling defensive play by Dixie Newland at second base. That looked like it was headed for right field. And that'll bring in Jordan Youngblood. Youngblood was one of the big hitters in that first game, and she fouls one back. That first game, Heber had 10 runs on 12 hits. They left 7 on base. Clinton had 7 runs on 8 hits. They left 7 on base. Here's the pitch, and just missed high. Count even 1-1. But a 15-day layoff prior to that first game. And a strike at the knees. Now it's 1-2. And the Yellow Jackets have a different defensive lineup than they had that day. They've made some adjustments on defense, moved some personnel around. I think it's really helped. Everybody in the defensive spot now is really comfortable. Jackets had 3 errors in that game at Heber Springs. Here's the 1-2. And it's high, now 2-2. One out in the Heber Springs first inning. 2-2 on Youngblood. The pitch is fouled away behind the Clinton bench. People still coming into the ballpark here on a beautiful afternoon. Only difference than yesterday, just a couple of clouds in the sky. But a warm spring day in the Ozarks, sun-splashed. And for the first time all season, no wind this week. And for a guy with a lot of papers in front of him, that's a big deal. Here's the pitch, and low in the dirt. Count runs full, 3-2. 78 degrees here in downtown Clinton. Parrish pitching to Jordan Youngblood. Taylor Parker on deck. Outfield deep and straight away. Here comes the payoff pitch from Parrish. And ground ball to short. There's Wallace deep in the hole. Long throw and out at first. 2 up, 2 down now in the Heber Springs first inning. Jackets were error-free yesterday in that 9-0 win over Pangburn. The Yellow Jacket pitching, Olivia Johnson and Sarah Parrish, shut out the Tigers yesterday. Clinton pitching. We'll get back to that in a minute as Taylor Parker's the hitter. She takes one low. Clinton pitching yesterday, 7 innings. No walks, no runs, 6 strikeouts, and no errors by the Yellow Jacket defense. Couldn't ask for much more than that. Here's the pitch to Parker, and it's low for a ball. Parrish trying to set the Panthers down in order in the first. Falls behind Parker, 2-0. Here's the pitch, and a pop fly on the infield. Newland says she has it, and she does. The Panthers go down in order in the first. We head to the bottom half. You listen to Yellow Jacket Softball on the Trip, 94.7.
Kick off the season with super fast fiber internet. Pettigene Fiber gives you the home advantage and is the ultimate choice for sports enthusiasts like you. With lightning fast speeds, you'll never miss a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a winning goal again. Say goodbye to buffering and hello to the ultimate sports experience. Call us at 501-745-2493 to sign up. Better internet, better service, and better pricing that will keep you in all the action. You won't want to miss this.
Visiting with Clay Maxey, your hometown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer. Here's something we don't hear anymore. Prices are dropping at Clay Maxey.
We've just decided with inflation and the way prices are going up on everybody, we wanted to take a real hard look and see how we could help the community by lowering some of our prices. Across the board, we've done everything that we could do to lower prices on our services, our cost of labor, our used inventory. We've got to do it in order to be responsive to our community and our customers.
See the change at ClayMaxeyCDJR.com.
Sarah Parrish set down the Panthers in order in the top of the first. Yellow Jackets coming to bat. Here's today's lineup for the Jackets. It'll be Lexi Wallace leading off, playing shortstop. Kaylin Lashley batting second, playing center field. Riley Van over at third, batting third. Freshman Kaylee Castle batting fifth. She's catching today. Batting fifth, Olivia Johnson in left field. Batting sixth, it's the pitcher, Sarah Parrish. Batting seventh, first baseman Kate Henry. Batting eighth and playing second base, it's Dixie Newland. And batting ninth and designated hitter, it's Addison Ballantyne, and she'll be hitting for Maya Mayhew, who's playing in right field today. And it'll be Wallace, Lashley, and Van, Castle, Johnson, and Parrish, Henry, Newland, and Ballantyne. And on the hill today for the Lady Panthers, it'll be Taylor Parker. Lexi Wallace to lead it off here. Trying to get something going in the Yellow Jacket first. Crowd still coming in here at the ballpark. Got some folks already up on the hill watching. Wallace steps in. Here we go. Right-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. Deep in the box. Here's the pitch. And takes a strike called. Parker jumps in the lead in the count. It's 0-1. She winds and fires, and swing and a miss. Good fastball there. Jordan Youngblood started the first time these two teams played. Her sister, Taylor Youngblood, is catching. Here's the pitch, and it's high. Now 1-2. Wallace trying to get on in the Yellow Jacket first. Here comes the pitch, and a swing and a miss late on the fastball, and that's the first out here in the Clinton first inning. That'll bring in Kaylin Lashley, the center fielder. Lashley had a big hit against Heber the first time, a double down into the right field corner. It scored 2 runs, and that cut the lead to 8-7 at the moment in the 6th inning of that one. She also walked twice, scored twice in that game. In fact, it was actually a triple, not a double. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Fastball over the heart of the plate. Good velocity by Parker. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss again. Same spot, strike 2. Both teams still looking for their first runner of the day. See what Parker does on 0-2. And the pitch is strike 3 called. It's all been fastballs so far. Back-to-back strikeouts for Parker. And that'll bring in freshman Riley Van. Two up, 2 down in the Clinton first. Outfield pretty shallow for Van. Here's the pitch. And takes a strike on the inside corner. All fastballs so far from Parker. Riley was 2 for 4 the first time against Heber. Had 2 singles. And the pitch is low for a ball. 1-1. Outfield really shallow for Van. Well, they have the scouting report. Here's the pitch. And fouls one back of the screen, and she was on that one. So far, nothing but fastballs from Parker. But a lot of strikes. Here comes the 1-2, and foul back again. Riley was right on that one. Two out McClinton first. We're scoreless. First place on the line here. Here's the pitch from Parker. Fastball, strike 3. Swing and a miss. And Parker strikes out the side. Both teams go down in order. We head to the second. No score. Clinton and Heber Springs listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the trip, 94.7.
Towing and recovery is the last thing you think about until you really need it. Then you really want the best. There's only one name to call, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery. They have the largest and latest model recovery fleet in North Central Arkansas. From small towing to heavy-duty towing, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery on Highway 65 in Clinton is the one to call, 745-2992. That's Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery, 745-2992.
FL Davis Cash Lumber, your Ace Hardware store, is a proud sponsor of Clinton Yellow Jacket Sports. FL Davis Cash Lumber can help with your electrical, plumbing, paint, tools, hardware, and flooring needs. They're a full-service hardware store and lumber yard. FL Davis can provide you with everything you need for your residential or commercial projects. The knowledgeable staff is always on hand to answer your questions. Visit FL Davis Cash Lumber, your Ace Hardware store. Same place, now Ace.
Each team went down in order in the first. Both pitchers on so far today. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Heber Springs. It'll be Maya Foster, Taylor Youngblood, Lakin Shannon. Anybody gets on, Kenna Haley. As we said, the boys are playing across town. Doubleheader against Moulton. It'll be the final games of the season for the Yellow Jacket baseball team. I have some scores on that before we're through today. Foster pops one up, center field. Lastly looks into the sun, makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out, and the Heber Springs second inning. Few clouds in the sky, but for the most part, it's a pretty high sky. And that'll bring in Taylor Youngblood. Taylor had the home run in the 6th inning of the first game. And swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch. She was 2 for 3 on that one, had a home run and a single. She scored 3 times, and she knocked in 2 runs. Heber led 8-7 in the bottom of the 6th when she hit the 2-run homer for 2 insurance runs. Made the final score 10-7. Parrish pitch and fly ball right field. There's Mayhew. Now she goes back and it's over her head. Mayhew's going to have to get the ball back in, and Youngblood's going to end up with a double. And that one just got over Mayhew's head in right field. And that'll be a 1-out double. Bring in Lakin Shannon. Looked like Mayhew had a bead on that one, but it got over her head. That'll be a courtesy runner at second for Youngblood. Shannon was 2 for 4 the last time these two teams played. She doubled and singled, scored 2 runs. Head coach Dusty West for Heber Springs gives his lineup change. The courtesy runner at second for the catcher. Now we're ready to go. And the hitter is Lakin Shannon, the second baseman. 1 out, runner at second. First hit of the game for either team. Runs could be a premium today. Looks like both pitchers are on. Here's the pitch from Parrish, and foul back. Count even 1-1. Outfield deep and straight away. A base hit would probably put Heber in the lead. Parrish for the new ball, and here we go. Here's the pitch. And foul back. Now it's 1-2, and Parrish could use a strikeout right here. Shannon way up in the box trying to take away the breaking pitch. See if Parrish wants to throw the rise ball here. Here's the pitch from Parrish, and there it is. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. That's the first Petit-Jean Fiber strikeout of the game for Sarah Parrish. And now there's 2 outs in the Heber Springs second inning. I'll bring in Kenna Haley. Runner at second, 2 outs. We're scoreless in the second. Haley, the right-handed hitter, takes a strike at the knees. Parrish gets ahead. Shortstop, second base, deep, looking for the play at first with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and pop fly on the infield. Now in short center. Who's got it? Wallace says she has it and drops it, and is caught by Lastly before it hits the ground. And they're going to say it hit the ground, and a run will score. Wallace went way into center field to try to make the catch. It popped out of her glove. Lashley was there, almost made the shoestring catch, and it hits the ground. And Heber Springs takes the lead 1-0. That'll bring in Penn Reisman, the hitter, designated pitcher, or check that, designated player, batting for the right fielder. And she fouls one back. That ball was hitting no man's land in short center field. Newland, Wallace, and Lashley were all around it. And a swing and a miss. (0-2) on Reisman. Parrish wants the inning to end right here. Here's the pitch. And pop fly behind third, now in foul territory. Riley Van makes the play. That'll end the inning, but Heber Springs picks up 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 1. We head to the bottom of the second. It's Heber Springs 1, Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket Softball on the Trip 94.7.
Friday night at the stadium is not the time to worry about your finances. Let First Arkansas Bank and Trust ease your mind with their mobile banking capabilities. You can check your balance, transfer funds between accounts, and even find the nearest ATM for dinner after a road game. The free mobile app is available on the iTunes Store and Android Market. You can cheer loud and proud for the Yellow Jackets because First Arkansas Bank and Trust has you covered. See a branch for more details. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Wherever the river flows and however the game goes, the River Company is a proud sponsor of Clinton Yellow Jacket Sports. Just like in sports, you want someone who has your back. The professional team at the River Company Insurance does just that. They'll work hard to find you the most coverage at the best possible price, whether it's business, farm, ranch, personal, or automotive. The team at the River Company will get you exactly what you need. Sports is a team effort, so come join the team at the River Company.
Heber Springs picks up a run on 2 hits in the top of the second. The lead 1-0 here. These teams come into the ballgame today in conference play. It's Heber Springs 3-0, Clinton 2-1, Morrilton 1-2, and Robinson 0-3. Only 4 teams in the conference, but seeding is big heading on. There's no district tournament, so how you finish in the conference race is how you'll be seeded for the regional tournament. So, as you know, 1, 2, 3 are much better than the alternative, so, and a conference title on the line also for these 2 teams. Either one of these teams could finish anywhere from 1st to 3rd, depending on how this week turns out. Kaylee Castle, the hitter, she takes the ball inside. Jackets travel to Morrilton on Friday. Clinton looking for their first base runner of the game. 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Here's the pitch, and Castle pops it up. Second baseman will make the play, and that's Shannon for the first out here in the Clinton second inning. And that'll bring in Olivia Johnson, our first Arkansas Bank and Trust player of the game here. He pitched 3 innings and then had 2 hits on offense. Olivia was 1 for 3 the last time these 2 teams played, had a single. She also walked, and a swing and a miss on a pitch up and out of the zone. Parker's retired the first 4 hitters she's faced today. Here's the pitch, And a swing and a miss. Pitch at the belt. All fastballs so far. Johnson in the hole 0-2. Here's the pitch. And a little bit off speed on that one for strike 3, and that's the 4th strikeout of the game for Taylor Parker. 2 outs here in the Clinton second. That'll bring in Sarah Parrish. Brooke Mason coaching over at third. Tristan Tate over at first. Nash Tate is in attendance today. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. A lot of room in right center field. Here comes Parker's 1-0 pitch. And pop fly foul behind first. And the first baseman, Haley, makes the play. Yellow Jackets go down in order for the second straight inning. We head to the third. It's Heber Springs 1, Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the Trip, 94.7.
At First Security, we've been investing in our home state since 1932, growing deep roots and even deeper relationships. We're part of Arkansas. It's part of us. Today, First Security puts all of that history and stability to good use for you, pouring our resources into the people and places we love best. Arkansas communities, Arkansas families, and Arkansas futures. First Security. Bank better. fsbank.com, member FDIC.
Wherever the river flows and however the game goes, the River Company is a proud sponsor of Clinton Yellow Jacket Sports. Just like in sports, you want someone who has your back. The professional team at the River Company Insurance does just that. They'll work hard to find you the most coverage at the best possible price, whether it's business, farm, ranch, personal, or automotive. The team at the River Company will get you exactly what you need. Sports is a team effort, so come join the team at the River Company.
Heber comes to bat in the third. They lead 1-0. They'll have the 9-1-2 hitters due up here. Mac Lazo, Carly Holland, Jordan Youngblood. Anybody gets on Taylor Parker. Heber got a run in the second on a couple of hits. They left one. Clinton still looking for their first hit. Lazo, a right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. And foul back, strike 1. One difference in these two teams is the number of games. Heber Springs, they've played 19 games this year. Clinton, this is their 12th game. The Jackets got a late start due to regional and state tournament basketball, but that's a problem we'll take every year. Last year, the Yellow Jackets started to gel down the stretch. That's what it's looking like again this year. And foul back to the screen, now 0-2. Parrish with one strikeout today, looking for her second. See what she wants to do here on 0-2. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt. Speaking of Lady Jacket basketball, tomorrow once again is another one of those elementary skills and drills day, second through fourth grade. Come over to Yellow Jacket Arena from 4 to 5:30 on Wednesdays for the rest of the school year, and work with Coach Post and some of the players on the basketball skills. Never too young to start. And foul back. Count stays 1-2. Good testament to the Yellow Jacket basketball programs. We had two young ladies sign this week with North Arkansas College. Once again, foul back to the screen. Castle gives chase, but it goes out of play. Maggie Gresham and Caden Brown both signed with North Arkansas College. Play basketball next season. That's a sign of a good program. Of course, Carter Holland signed with Harding University from the Yellow Jacket boys basketball program. So here's my advertisement for school choice. You're out there, you want to go to a great school, get a great education, and play at a high level of athletics. Come on to Clinton. we move them on to the next level. One-two pitch from Parrish is a fly ball, center field. Now Lashley calls off Johnson. Johnson came over from left field. Lashley called her off, made the play, and that's the first out here in the Heber Springs third inning. Bogie Hester across town at the baseball game. Got a first inning score. Morton leads Clinton 6-0 at the end of the first inning. Jackets got a win last Monday at Nemo Vista and almost got another one Friday, or check that Thursday, as the baseball team lost 5-4 at Lamar. Strike one to leadoff hitter Carly Holland. She grounded to second base, but on a nice play by Dixie Newland, her first time up. Dixie went to her left, made the play. Here's the pitch, and foul back. And Parrish jumps ahead. Yeah, baseball team was snake bit on Thursday. They got beat 5-4, and they left 13 runners on base. Had the bases loaded in 4 of the 7 innings that they hit. Just couldn't get that one extra hit to win that game. It's just one of those days. Here's the pitch. Parker takes one high. Count 1-2. Kind of call it, that's that show me fastball. It's out of the strike zone, but you see the speed. And now she may come back with something off speed in the strike zone. Here comes the pitch, and that one got away from her high for a ball. Now it's 2-2. And I think Parrish wants a new softball. That kind of slipped out of her hand. And the umpire will throw in a new ball. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the Heber third. They lead 1-0 in this battle for first place. Here's the pitch and a pop fly in front of the plate. Kaylee Castle makes the play. I think it might have been just fouled, and that'll be the second out of the inning. And that'll bring in Jordan Youngblood. Youngblood grounded out to the shortstop, Lexi Wallace, her first time up. Got to be careful with the Youngblood sisters, both good hitters. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. Crowd starting to fill in now. This game's gone pretty quick. We're in the third. Good pitching. Here's the pitch. And a strike at the knees, and it's 1-1. Van, Wallace, Newland, Henry on the infield for Clinton. Castle behind the plate. Johnson, Lashley, and Mayhew deep in the outfield for Clinton. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And line shot fair into right field. Mayhew fields it. Cleanly comes up and holds Youngblood to a single. A slicing line drive over first base down into right field, and it's a 2-out hit for Jordan Youngblood. Good play by Mayhew and right to keep her to a single. And that'll bring in Taylor Parker, who popped up to the second baseman her first time up. Let's see if Youngblood wants to run here. Here's the pitch. And a line shot left field. Johnson goes back. It one-hops the fence. Johnson gets it in quickly. They're going to send her home. Here comes a throw to the plate, and she is safe at the plate. And everybody did what they were supposed to there. Johnson got it in quickly, got it to Wallace, who threw a strike to the plate, but Youngblood just beat the throw home, and it's 2-0 Heber. And Parker takes second on the throw to the plate. Two-out run for Heber. The first 2 players are retired, first 2 hitters, and then a single and a double gives Heber a run. Parker hit that one on the nose, on the line, one hop off the left field fence. And they'll now have a courtesy runner for the pitcher. Sophie Joyner. And the Jackets need the inning to end right here. Especially with Taylor Youngblood up next. Foster's up. She popped our flight out to center field to open the second inning. And she does it again. Center field. Lashley comes in a couple of steps and makes the play, but Heber picks up a run with 2 outs on 2 hits. They leave 1. We head to the bottom of the third. It's now Heber Springs 2 and Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the trip, 94.7.
Steve Good at Goods Cash Savers says you can learn a lot about life by playing sports. You may never be the biggest or the fastest, but you can always try to be the very best and give 100%. And that's what they do every day at Goods Cash Saver. Even though they don't have the biggest building, they try to have every item that you might need in groceries. They also overachieve every day in their meat department. So when you're looking for a place to shop, give Goods Cash Saver a try. A supermarket that cares about you and your community and says, go Yellow Jackets.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Head, an orthopedic surgeon. Conway Regional is expanding access to care at their Clinton Medical Clinic. Conway Regional Clinton Medical Clinic is accepting new patients for orthopedic evaluations, post and pre-op appointments, and in-office procedures. Conway Regional is committed to bringing care to you when and where you need it most. To make an appointment at Clinton Medical Clinic, call 501-745-4914 or visit conwayregional.org.
A service of King Sullivan Radio, K234BB and 94.7 FM, KGFL 1110 AM, Clinton.
The Jackets have the bottom 3 due up here in the third, still looking for their first runner of the game. Taylor Parker's retired the first 6 hitters she's faced today. It'll be Kate Henry leading off for the Jackets. And the first pitch is a ball. Henry batting from the right side. She'll be playing at Henderson State University next year. Here's the pitch. Infield creeping in. She took a good rip at that one. Came up empty. Outfield for Heber still extremely shallow. Here comes the 1-1. And strike 1 and 2. Parker struck out 4 so far through the first 2 innings. Here comes the pitch. And a ground ball up the middle, fielded by the second baseman Shannon over to first for the out. And that's the first out here in the Clinton third. 7 in a row now retired by Parker. And that'll bring in Dixie Newland. Dixie with a nice play at second earlier in the ball game. Dixie scored a run in that first game against Heber Springs. Reached on a fielder's choice, came around to score. Takes a ball here. Parker's pitch. And ball 2. And she hadn't gone 2 balls on many hitters so far today. Addison Ballantyne waiting on deck. Newland batting from the right side. Open stance. Here's the pitch. Ooh, a swing and a miss. Pitch at the letters. Now it's 2-1. Infield still creeping in. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss. They are really tight on the infield. Almost as if there's a runner at third. Not a lot of angles if you had a sharply hit ground ball. Count now 2-2. Was 2-0, now it's 2-2. And a swing and a miss, and Newland goes down. 5 strikeouts now for Parker. 8 in a row retired by Parker. And that'll bring in Addison Ballantyne. She's the designated player, hitting for Mayhew. Here's the pitch, and half swing. Goes around, strike one. Tried to hold up on that high pitch, that rise ball. She could see it. It was going to leave the strike zone, but it couldn't quite hold up. Here's the pitch from Parker. Strike called. Pretty much everything a fastball from Parker. 0-2. Looking for strikeout number 6. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts the inning for Parker. 6 in the game, and we head to the 4th. It's Heber Springs 2, Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the trip, 94.7.
Friday night at the stadium is not the time to worry about your finances. Let First Arkansas Bank and Trust ease your mind with their mobile banking capabilities. You can check your balance, transfer funds between accounts, and even find the nearest ATM for dinner after a road game. The free mobile app is available on the iTunes Store and Android Market. You can cheer loud and proud for the Yellow Jackets because First Arkansas Bank and Trust has you covered. See a branch for more details. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Adventure awaits, and with the all-new lineup of Chevrolets, those adventures can become reality. Joe Lee Chevrolet has the best lineup of cars, SUVs, and trucks ever. Why go from A to B when imagination can take you everywhere? And remember, when you need service work, Joe Lee's service department can keep your Chevrolet running like new. Make your best deal today at Joe Lee Chevrolet in Clinton. Find new roads in your new Chevy vehicle.
Sarah Parrish and the Yellow Jacket defense are going to have to keep Heber Springs off the board. Looks like Parker's not going to give a whole lot of runs today, so you don't want to get too far behind. Jackets trail 2-0 here as we head to the 4th inning. And it'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for Heber. It'll be Taylor Youngblood, who doubled and scored in the 2nd. Lake and Shannon, Kenna Haley. Anybody gets on, Penn Reisman. And Youngblood had that home run in the first game. These two teams met. Here's the pitch, and she pops it up on the infield. Kate Henry now comes in. Castle calls her off, and Castle makes the play in foul territory. 1 pitch, 1 out in the Heber 4th inning. Good play by Castle. Those are not easy. The backspin is carrying the ball back toward the infield, and she's also looking up into the sunshine there. Good play by the freshman Castle. And that'll bring in Shannon. She struck out in the 2nd. There's the pitch for Parrish. And a pop fly on the infield. And Lexi Wallace calls it and catches it right in front of the second base bag. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the Heber 4th. And, you know, back in the last inning, the first 2 Heber hitters were retired, and then they came back and scored a run on a single and a double. So Parrish wants to set the Panthers down in order here. In the 4th, Haley singled, knocking in that run, that first run, in the 2nd inning. Ball that she hit, about 20 feet behind second base. Wallace, Newland, and Lashley were all in chase. And it bounced out of Wallace's glove. It had been a tough play, and Lashley almost caught it before it hit the ground. And here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. Count even 1-1. Parrish trying to set the Panthers down in order for the first time since the first inning. Here's the pitch, and a ball hit down the first base line. foul, about 6 inches foul off the end of the bat. Now it's 1-2. That was kind of slicing off the right-handed batter. And just went foul. Now it's 1-2. Parrish with 1 strikeout on the day. Here's the pitch. And strike 3 called. A second Petit Jean Fiber strikeout of the day, and that sets down Heber Springs in order in the 4th. We head to the bottom half. It's Heber Springs 2 and Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket Softball on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network.
Towing and recovery is the last thing you think about until you really need it. Then you really want the best. There's only one name to call, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery. They have the largest and latest model recovery fleet in North Central Arkansas. From small towing to heavy-duty towing, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery on Highway 65 in Clinton is the one to call, 745-2992. That's Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery, 745-2992.
Hi, this is Brandon from North Arkansas College. Is going to college a goal of yours in 2025? Let us help you accomplish that goal. At North Ark, we have students of all ages from all walks of life. From high school students taking concurrent credit courses to parents returning to school to learn a new skill, NAC can help. To learn more, visit northark.edu/welcome2025 or text our recruiters at 870-621-2941. And remember, at North Ark, we believe in you.
Top of the order up for Clinton in the 4th. They trail 2-0. Parker with a perfect game through 3 as she's retired 9 straight Yellow Jacket hitters. And hopefully the second time around the order, Yellow Jackets may be timing that fastball. Parker pretty much it's either fastball or rise ball for the most part. I've seen one pitch so far today that was a little bit off speed. So it'll be Wallace, Lashley, and Van. Anybody gets on Castle here in the Yellow Jacket 4th. And the pitch is high for a ball. Lexi singled and scored off this pitcher the first 2 times these teams played. Here's the pitch. And outside, ball 2. It's Parker and Wallace here to start the 4th. Here comes Parker's 2-0 pitch. And it's low, ball 3. Probably see Lexi take 1 or 2 right here. And the pitch is a strike call. Now 3-1. Yellow Jacket dugout starting to whoop it up a little bit over there. Fans circling the fence line, a couple of 3 rows deep now. Parker gets the sign she wants. And here we go. And a swing and a miss. That ball was at the letters. Tough one to take. Now the count's full. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-2. Wallace trying to get on to start the 4th. Parker winds and fires. And a swing and a miss. And Parker comes back to get Wallace. That's the first out here in the 4th. 7 strikeouts now for Parker. 10 Yellow Jackets retired in order. Caitlin Lashley, the hitter, she struck out in the 1st. Parker came all the way back from 3-0 to get Wallace. Here's the pitch. And a pop fly. Make it out of play, and it does beyond the third base dugout. Heber Springs today in the black pants. Red tops trimmed in white. Clinton in the white pants. Black jerseys trimmed in gold. You get a game like this with the pitchers on, you just keep it close, starting to maybe eventually wear them down before it's over. Here's the pitch. And strike on the outside corner. Now Kalen's in the hole 0-2. Good pitch by Parker there at the knees on the corner. That infield still creeping in. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss on a pitch up. 2 down here in the Yellow Jacket fourth. Eight strikeouts now for Parker. It brings in Riley Van. Riley was one of those strikeouts back in the first. And the pitch from Parker. And half swing foul. Couldn't lay off the riser there. Van can get on, bring up Castle with a tying run. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss at the knees. And now Riley's in the hole 0-2. Parker with a chance to strike out the side for the second time today. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ball high. And 1-2. And the pitch from Parker is in the dirt now, 2-2. So far, no mistakes by Parker. She hasn't left anything hittable in the strike zone. As they say, most home runs are thrown, not hit. It's usually a mistake by the pitcher. Parker's 2-2 pitch is foul back, and we'll do it again. New softball to Parker. Van gets back in. Slightly open stance. Here's the pitch. And inside, ball 3, and the count runs full. Second batter this inning, the count's gone full. Lexi got ahead in the count 3-0. Parker came back to get her. This time, Parker got ahead in the count 0-2, and now it's 3-2. Jackets still looking for their first runner of the ball game. Here comes the payoff pitch, and foul back, and we'll do it again. And now Taylor Youngblood will say something to Parker as she returns the game ball to Parker. Now we're ready to go. Here's the pitch. And ball 4 inside. First runner of the game for the Lady Yellow Jackets. And that breaks up the perfect game pitched by Taylor Parker. And that'll bring in Kaylee Castle. And you know what she could do with one swing of the bat. And the Heber Springs outfield continues to play shallow. The fantastic freshman, Van at first, Castle at the plate. Olivia Johnson on deck. Here's the pitch to Castle. Half swing. And they're going to call it a strike. Rise ball couldn't quite lay off of it. Parker jumps ahead 0-1. It's Parker and Castle, power on power. Here's the pitch. And she slices one over the second baseman's head for the first hit of the game for the Yellow Jackets. And it's 1st and 2nd now with 2 outs. And she just got that one over Shannon's head, slicing off the right-handed hitter's bat. And now Castle's the tying run at first base. Van at second, Castle at first, and Olivia Johnson the hitter. And Olivia struck out her first time up. Clinton trails 2-0. Here's the pitch, high for a ball. Castle getting a good break off first. If Johnson can get one in the gap, she might score all the way from first. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. A good rip that time by Johnson on a knee-high fastball. Count even now, 1-1. Keep the line moving here. Here's the pitch from Parker, and a ground ball right at the second baseman. Shannon over to first for the out, but the Yellow Jackets do pick up their first runner and hit of the ball game. They leave 2, and we head to the 5th. It's Heber Springs 2, Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the Trip 94.7.
Visiting with Clay Maxey, your hometown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer. Here's something we don't hear anymore. Prices are dropping at Clay Maxey.
We've just decided with inflation and the way prices are going up on everybody, we wanted to take a real hard look and see how we could help the community by lowering some of our prices. Across the board, we've done everything that we could do to lower prices on our services, our cost of labor, our used inventory. We've got to do it in order to be responsive to our community and our customers.
See the change at ClayMaxeyCDJR.com.
F.L. Davis Cash Lumber, your Ace Hardware store, is a proud sponsor of Clinton Yellow Jacket Sports. F.L. Davis Cash Lumber can help with your electrical, plumbing, paint, tools, hardware, and flooring needs. They're a full-service hardware store and lumber yard. F.L. Davis can provide you with everything you need for your residential or commercial projects. The knowledgeable staff is always on hand to answer your questions. Visit F.L. Davis Cash Lumber, your Ace Hardware store. Same place, now Ace.
The Jackets got their first runner and first hit of the game in the 4th. Maybe that's a good omen to come here as we head into the 5th inning. Hey, this 5th inning brought to you by Main Street Florist and Gifts, located in downtown Clinton. Just one block off the Court Square on Main Street. In fact, you could see Yellow Jacket Lane from the front door of Main Street Florist and Gifts. For all your floral needs, gifts, unique items, give them a call or stop by there at Main Street Florist and Gifts. One of the great game day sponsors for Yellow Jacket Athletics. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for Heber Springs. Parrish has retired 4 in a row and has 2 Petty Jean Fiber strikeouts. The hitter is Penn Reisman. She fouled out to Riley Van over at third back in the 2nd. Got to keep the game close, keep it at 2, give ourselves a chance here in the final 3 innings. Here's the pitch, and slow for a ball. Now 2-0. Heber with 2 runs on 4 hits. Clinton yet to score, only 1 hit so far. Baseball team trails Morrilton 8-0 in the 2nd inning across town. Here's the pitch. Ball 3, and you don't want to walk the 8th place hitter here in the 5th inning. See if Parrish can battle back here. Here's the pitch from Parrish. And swinging on 3-0, and she's going to get a base hit to center field. Who would have thought that? Figure she'd be taking with a 3-0 count, and she swinging away and just loops it into center field for a leadoff single. Probably not by the book softball, but it worked out for Heber. And that'll bring in Lazo. Flied out to center field her first time up. She might be bunting here. She's the 9th place hitter. Here comes the pitch. She shows bunt and gets it down, but foul as it rolls behind home plate. Heber trying to get that runner in the scoring position with the top of the order coming up. Van creeping in at third. Henry creeping in at first. Jackets would like her to pop one up right here. Here's the pitch, shows bunt, and now the runner goes to second, throw there, and safe as the runner just straight stole that one. Wasn't waiting on the bunt, just took off on the pitch. And she's there with nobody out, and the count is 1-1 on the hitter. And Heber with a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the 5th. Parrish could use a strikeout here. Still showing bunt, takes one low. Wallace covering third in the wheel play. That means they're showing bunt. The third baseman's going to come down and try to field the bunt. So the shortstop's got to go over and try to cover third. And that's a tough play, too, if the runner starts to try to steal third. That shortstop having to come in, catch, turn, and make the tag. Here's the pitch. Bunt, foul. Now it's 2-2. See if Dusty Parrish wants to take the bunt sign off here with 2 strikes. Parrish could use a strikeout. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and Parrish gets the strikeout she needed. Third Petit-Jean Fiber strikeout of the game for Parrish, and that's a big out here in the Heber Springs 5th inning. And now back to the top of the order, and Carly Holland. Holland 0 for 2, grounded out to second, and fouled out to Castle behind the plate. 2-0 Heber. Runner at second. There's one out. Here's the pitch. And back to the screen, and the runner's going to go to third without a throw. And that one got away from Parrish. And so Heber couldn't get the bunt down, but they still get the runner over to third. A lot of things could score the runner from third with one out. Check has seen a strikeout or a pop-up here. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt. Takes a strike. No squeeze play. The runner stayed at third. Maybe the safety squeeze. If the ball gets down on the ground, then the runner comes from third. Suicide squeeze. The runner takes off on the pitch. Count even 1-1. Van in tied at third. Here's the pitch. And a pop fly on the infield. There's Henry, and the runner has to stay at third with 2 outs. And the Jackets have a chance to get out of this jam in the 5th inning. But before that, you got to get through Jordan Youngblood. She's 1 for 2 today, singled and scored her last time up. Takes a strike here. Another good hitter on deck in Parker. Runner at second, no outs. Runner at third with 1 out. Now runner at third with 2 outs. Jacket defense can play back at the play at first base. Here's the pitch. And high for a ball, 1-1. Don't have to lay it in there. You got first base open. See if you can get her to chase your pitch. 2-0 Heber. That's a big run at third, the way Parker's pitching today. Here's the pitch. And a ground ball off the glove at first, picked up by Henry, and she steps on the bag. And a great job by Parrish to pitch out of a leadoff single. It was a jam, a runner at second with 1 out, and she got over to third with 1 out. But a strikeout, a pop-up, and a ground ball. And the Jackets get out of the jam. Heber gets a hit, leaves 1, fails to score. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's still Heber 2, Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the Trip 94.7.
The Black Law Firm is a proud supporter of Clinton High School Yellow Jacket sports. When you need an attorney, call the Black Law Firm. Whether it's an injury accident, criminal defense, DWI, family dispute, Ralph Blagg believes in equal justice for all. Now located in the shopping center at 244 Highway 65 South or on the web at blaglaw.com. The Blagg Law Firm, a proud supporter of Clinton Yellow Jacket sports. Kick off the season with super fast fiber internet. Petit Fiber gives you the home advantage and is the ultimate choice for sports enthusiasts like you. With lightning fast speeds, you'll never miss a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a winning goal again. Say goodbye to buffering and hello to the ultimate sports experience. Call us at 501-745-2493 to sign up. Better internet, better service, and better pricing that will keep you in all the action. You won't want to miss this.
The Jackets and Sarah Parrish pitched out of the jam. They keep the game 2-0. This fifth inning brought to you by Clinton Stockyards. Look at Highway 65 North in Clinton. As the foot of the Archie Creek Bridge. Sale every Saturday, 1 o'clock. Check the Facebook post. See what they have going each week. You can look at that up under Clinton Stockyards Incorporated of the Linville Boys over at the Clinton Stockyards. That number also is 745-8819. Clinton Stockyards, 745-8819. Sarah Parrish will lead it off for the Jackets, and she would love to help herself here. She popped up in foul territory the first time to the first baseman. Jackets got their first runner and their first hit in the last inning. Here's the pitch on a swing and a miss. Parrish in the hole, 0-2. Mostly fastballs. But Parker has did a good job of moving them around from knee high to the rise ball and also on the outside corner some. Here's the 0-2 and foul back and 0-2 pitch. And she left that one over the heart of the plate. Maybe Parker's wearing down just a little bit. She has 8 strikeouts so far, so she's thrown a lot of pitches. Here's the 0-2. Ball high. First time these two teams played, Clinton led 1-0 into the fourth. Heber came back to win. Jackets looking to do the same to Heber. Maybe come back and win late in this one. First place on the line. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss on a pitch low. And that's the 9th strikeout of the game for Parker. That'll bring in Kate Henry. Kate grounded out to the second baseman her first time up. Outfield still shallow for Heber. It hasn't burnt them yet today, but it's not over. Here's the pitch. And high for a ball. Even if you don't score, get some base runners on. Try to turn the lineup back over to the top. Here's the pitch. And foul back. Kate had one to hit there and fouled it. Count even 1-1. Yellow Jackets trail Morrilton 8-0. That's in the second inning across town. Henry back in. 1-1 pitch is foul back. Now 1-2. What a great crowd here today at the ballpark. Big Clinton crowd. Probably got the Heber fans outnumbered probably 10-1 here. At least 6, 7, or 8-1. Here's the pitch. High, ball 2. Count even 2-2. Dixie Newland on deck. Henry trying to get on here in the fifth. High, ball 3. Parker's walked 1 today. This is the third hitter in the last 2 innings, though. She's gone 3-2 on. She was almost perfect through the first 9 hitters. In fact, she retired all 9, but didn't even go to a 3-ball count on those first 9. Parker winds and fires, and ball 4 inside. Just missed. And the Jackets get a runner on with 1 out here in the 5th inning, and that'll bring in Dixie Newland. Dixie struck out her first time up. That was in the 3rd. And that's now 2 walks by Parker in the last 2 innings. Newland, the hitter, representing the tying run. Addison Ballantyne on deck. Here's the pitch, shows bunt, gets it down. If it stays fair, it will. It's a race to the bag and out at first as Haley grabbed it at the last second, stepped on the bag. And now there's 2 outs in the Yellow Jacket 5th, and that'll bring in Addison Ballantyne. Henry at second with 2 outs. Any way to get on here. And a strike called. Yellow Jackets on the board across town. They picked up a couple of runs. Moulton leads 8-2 after 4 innings in the first game of 2 today in baseball. Ballantyne takes a strike. Ballantyne struck out her first time up late on a fastball. Now it's 0-2. Wallace in the top of the order on deck. Heber leads 2-0. We're in the bottom of the 5th. We've played just over an hour. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. And Ballantyne goes down. 10 strikeouts on the day now for Taylor Parker. The Jackets get a runner on a walk, but they strand Henry at second. And we head to the 6th inning. It's Heber Springs 2 and Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the trip, 94.7.
Friday night at the stadium is not the time to worry about your finances. Let First Arkansas Bank and Trust ease your mind with their mobile banking capabilities. You can check your balance, transfer funds between accounts, and even find the nearest ATM for dinner after a road game. The free mobile app is available on the iTunes Store and Android Market. You can cheer loud and proud for the Yellow Jackets because First Arkansas Bank and Trust has you covered. See a branch for more details. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Adventure awaits, and with the all-new lineup of Chevrolets, those adventures can become reality. Jolie Chevrolet has the best lineup of cars, SUVs, and trucks ever. Why go from A to B when imagination can take you everywhere? And remember, when you need service work, Jolie's service department can keep your Chevrolet running like new. Make your best deal today at Jolie Chevrolet in Clinton. Find new roads in your new Chevy vehicle.
Hey, the 6th inning brought to you by Western Sizzling of Clinton, Highway 65 South. Hours from 11 to about 8:30 or so at night. But stop by for lunch or dinner. And it's casual dining. You got the buffet, you got the menu, or just tell them what you want. They'll probably come up with it for you. Scotty Jones and all the crew and the great wait staff there at Western Sizzling. And stop by one of Clinton's traditional dining spots, Western Sizzling of Clinton. Hey, you can do a call-in order, too. That number is 745-5222, 745-5222. Western Sizzling of Clinton. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Panthers. It's Taylor Parker. Parker doubled in. Second run of the game back in the 3rd. Here's the pitch, and it's in the dirt for a ball. It jumps ahead to count 2-0. Sarah Parrish still on the hill for the Yellow Jackets. It'll be Parker, Foster, and Taylor Youngblood. Anybody gets on, Lakin, Shannon. Jackets trying to hold it at 2-0. Still got 6 outs left. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss as Parker took a big rip at that one. Brooke Mason giving the sign. Parrish gets it. Checks that wristband, and she's ready to go. Here's the pitch. And a pop fly, center field. Now slicing toward right. Lashley on the run and makes the play in short right field. And that's the first out here in the Heber Springs 6th inning. That'll bring in Foster. She's 0 for 2 today, and she's flown out twice to Lashley in center field. Hold them close here. The Jackets have the top of the order due up in the 6th. Yellow Jacket outfield is deep in left and center. Not much of a breeze today. And a strike called at the knees. Parrish gets ahead in the count. Parrish with 3 strikeouts on the day. Here's the pitch. And a shot toward the left. Johnson comes in, goes back, and makes a running catch near the line in left field as Foster hit that one right on the nose. Johnson's first step was in. Then she had to go back, and on the run toward the foul pole, she made the catch. And that takes a double away from Foster. And 2 outs now in the Heber Springs 6th inning. And that'll bring in Taylor Youngblood. And you got to be careful with Youngblood. You don't want to give up a 2-out home run here. Runs are too precious in this game. Youngblood had a home run in that 6th inning that put the game away the first time. And she takes a ball inside. Shannon on deck. Can be careful to Youngblood. He got first base open. Main thing is to keep it in the park. Here's the pitch. And high for a ball. Two nothing Heber. We're in the 6th inning. It's been a pitcher's duel so far. Here's the pitch. And strike at the knees on the corner. And that's a nasty pitch by Parrish. Count now 2-1. Johnson about as deep as you can get in left field. Here's the pitch. And a tapper towards short. Deep in the hole, Wallace. Her throw is on the money for the out. And that'll end the inning as the Panthers go down in order. Good pitching by Parrish, and the Jackets come to bat in the 6th. They trail 2-0. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the Trip, 94.7.
Adventure awaits, and with the all-new lineup of Chevrolets, those adventures can become reality. Joe Lee Chevrolet has the best lineup of cars, SUVs, and trucks ever. Why go from A to B when imagination can take you everywhere? And remember, when you need service work, Joe Lee's service department can keep your Chevrolet running like new. Make your best deal today at Joe Lee Chevrolet in Clinton. Find new roads in your new Chevy vehicle.
First Security has been putting our home state first since 1932, helping fellow Arkansans and their families buy homes, grow businesses, and build futures. Today, First Security is still committed to helping you bank better, providing local solutions and local support in the places we love too. It's community banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. fsbank.com. Member FDIC.
Time for the Jackets to go to work with the bats. They trail 2-0 here in the 6th. I have the top of the order due up. Your 6th inning game day sponsor, Kyle Hensley DDS, Highway 65 South in Clinton, across from Walmart next door to Sonic. For all your dental needs, give them a call at Kyle Hensley DDS at 745-5393, 745-5393. They're open Monday through Thursday. And I bet Kyle Hensley and the crew are probably across town at the baseball game. As Hester Hensley, Kyle's son, part of that Yellow Jacket baseball team. Jackets will have the top of the order up. Lexi Wallace, Kaylin Lashley, Riley Van. Anybody gets on, Kaylee Castle. Taylor Parker on the mound. She retired the first 9 Yellow Jackets in a row. In fact, the first 11 in a row before Riley Van got a walk in the 4th. Kaylee Castle had a single. And then in the 5th inning, the Jackets got a 1-out walk. They're still looking for their first run, but Parker has not been quite as accurate with her control in the last 2 innings. See if the Yellow Jackets can break through here. They trail 2-0. Wallace is up. She struck out twice today. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. In fact, last time up, though, she got ahead in the count 3-0, and Parker came back to get her. That was a nice play by Wallace to end the last inning. She went deep in the hole at shortstop and threw a strike across the diamond to end the inning. Here's the pitch. Ooh, a swing and a miss. That rise ball has looked good today to the right-handed hitters. Count even 1-1. Here's Parker's 1-1 pitch. And it's high, ball 2. It's Foster at third, Jordan Youngblood at second, Jordan Youngblood at shortstop, Shannon at second, Haley over at first, Taylor Youngblood behind the plate for Heber. Wallace ahead in the count 2-1. The pitch is a swing and a miss. Now it's 2-2. Might have took a little bit off that one. Lexi trying to get on any way she can to set the table. Parker's ready. Here's the pitch. And a pop fly behind second. Might drop. Here comes the second baseman back at the edge of the grass. And she makes the play for the first out. And Wallace guarded the plate, made contact with 2 strikes, but the second baseman went into short right field and made the play. 1 out here in the Clinton 6th inning. And that'll bring in Lastly. And Kaylin's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. And you'd love to get her on base with her speed with Van and Castle up next. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt and fouls it back to the screen. Any way to get on base. 3 and 4 hitters up next. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. Much different game than these two teams played back on April the 8th when it was 10-7. Today it's only 2-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. And a strike on the inside corner. Now it's 1-2. Kaylin's got to guard the plate. Any way to put the ball in play and use that speed. Here's the pitch. And pop fly behind short. Shortstop down short left field. Ooh, and that ball almost came out of her glove, but she made the play. That's Jordan Youngblood at shortstop. 2 outs here. And the Clinton 6th inning going to bring in Riley Van. Riley struck out in the first, walked, and was stranded in the 4th inning. Trying to get on base ahead of Castle. Here's the pitch. And a strike on the inside corner, and Parker jumps ahead. That's a big inning for Parker with the top of the Clinton order up. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a foul tip. Now it's 0-2, and that pitch was down. Now it's 0-2, and Van's got to guard the plate. Here comes the 0-2, and it's high now, 1-2. Baseball team trails 9-2 in the 5th inning. One-two pitch to Van. And outside, now it's 2-2. Parker tried to get her to chase that outside pitch. Van wouldn't go for it. Now it's 2-2. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. And Van goes down on the rise ball. 11 strikeouts now for Parker. Jackets go down in order. We head to the 7th. It's Heber Springs 2 and Clinton nothing. Listen to Yellow Jackets softball on the trip, 94.7.
Towing and recovery is the last thing you think about until you really need it. Then you really want the best. There's only one name to call, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery. They have the largest and latest model recovery fleet in north central Arkansas. From small towing to heavy-duty towing, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery on Highway 65 in Clinton is the one to call, 745-2992. That's Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery, 745-2992.
Hi, I'm Allison Tyner, an APRN at Conway Regional Clinton Medical Clinic. At Conway Regional Clinton Medical Clinic, our primary care providers are dedicated to comprehensive care while working alongside our specialty care providers such as cardiology, general surgery, orthopedics, and pain management. To make an appointment with me, call 501-745-4914 or visit conwayregional.org.
I want to wait till later to get a little older. Nope. Yeah, Heber comes to bat in the 7th inning. They lead 2-0. Yellow Jackets have to hold them right here, give themselves a chance in the 7th inning. Hey, this 7th inning brought to you by Farm Bureau of Clinton, Highway 65 business. They're open from 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. Mickey Parrish, Melanie and Kara and Chris Glover and Ty Rhoda, all the gang over there over at Farm Bureau. Sarah Parrish sets Heber down in order in the 6th inning. In fact, she's retired 6 straight. She'll have the 6, 7, 8 hitters due up here in the 7th inning. This is Lake and Shannon. She's 0 for 2 on the day. And a line drive up the middle, base hit. That's so the 7th inning starts for Heber. A leadoff single by Shannon. Hey, that number for Farm Bureau, give them a call over there at 745-2117, 745-2117 at Farm Bureau of Clinton. Lead off for the 2nd straight inning. Heber gets the leadoff man on, and that brings in Kenna Haley, who's 1 for 2. She shows bunt. Good play by Castle. That ball was in the dirt. She caught it cleanly, kept the runner at first. Haley singled in the 2nd, was stranded, but she did knock in the run, the first run of the game, and struck out in the 4th. Shows bunt and gets it down, and Parrish has to field it, throw it out at first, and the runner goes to 2nd with 1 out. Nice play by Parrish. Van charged hard, but the bunt got past Van, and then Parrish behind her caught it through to 1st for the out. Runner in scoring position now with 1 out. 2nd straight inning. Heber's got a runner at 2nd with 1 out. Penn Reisman, the hitter. She's 1 for 2 today. Had a single in the 5th but was stranded. Here's the pitch and a foul tip. And Parrish jumps ahead. Want to thank Petty Jean Fiber, First Arkansas Bank and Trust, and Hogs and Heifers for bringing these great pictures today on the live stream. Always great supporters of Yellow Jacket Athletics. First Arkansas Bank and Trust, Petty Jean Fiber, and Hogs and Heifers. Here's the pitch. Ooh, just missed high, now 1-1. Probably got time when this one's over to head over to Hogs and Heifers for supper. Count even 1-1. Here's the pitch from Parrish, and she grounds it off the third baseman to behind Wallace. They may send the runner home, and she's going to score. And the runner goes to 2nd on the throw to the plate. Bad break by the Yellow Jackets there. It was a one-hopper that bounced off of Van. It looked like it was going to bounce to Wallace, but it was just over her head and then trickled into left field. And that allowed Shannon to score. Now Heber leads 3-0 on the base hit by Reisman. And she takes 2nd when they threw the ball home. And Lazo is the hitter. She's 0 for 2, the 9th place hitter, and she fouls one back. Heber with single runs in the second, third, and now in the seventh. They lead 3-0. You see those a lot, though. The third baseman and first baseman in softball have to play so close. They get a lot of hot shots that you really just, your only hope is to try to block them, and that was one. Ground ball up the middle, fielded by Newland. Throw to first, safe there. And everybody's safe first and third. Newland went a long ways up the middle, backhanded it. Her throw was just a little bit late for a base hit. She did everything she could do on that play. And a runner at third, first and third with one out. And now you're back to the top of the order. And Heber Springs is going to take a timeout and talk about this running situation. Dusty West talks to his two runners and his two hitters along the third baseline. Almost can't afford to give up any more runs. Trail 3-0. I want to mention the Pottery Shop, also one of our great game day sponsors. Todd Treese and all the crew over at the Pottery Shop, from yard ornaments to clothing to plants and things. Now you can stop by Pottery Shop. There's always something new at the Pottery Shop. Highway 65 North. You can't miss it. There's a giant giraffe out there in the parking lot. You can check their Facebook page, see what's going on, or you can give them a call at 745-2060. 745-2060. Holland is 0 for 4, the leadoff hitter. But she can handle the bat. See what they want to do here. Is it bunt? Is it steal? Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, and they steal second. And it's second and third with one out. Second and third, one out. Jackets already down 3-0. Jordan Youngblood on deck. Here's the pitch. And strike called. And it's 1-1. Showed bunt again. Here's the pitch, and a bunt. It's a good one. It stays fair. A run's going to score, and the Yellow Jackets throw it into right field, and 2 runs are going to score. Newland did a good job to back that one up and keep the runner at first. And a bunt that went about 2 feet in front of home plate, which is a perfect bunt. There was no way to get the runner coming in from third, but the Yellow Jackets did throw it away at first, and a second run did score. Reisman scored. Lazo scored. And Hollins at first. And now it's 5-0 Heber Springs. And Jordan Youngblood's the hitter. She's 1 for 3 on the day. And the Jackets are letting this one get away here in the 6th inning. Holland at first. There's still only one out in the inning. And the runner steals second. Castle's throw one hops Wallace at second, but the runner was safe. And she's there with one out. Morton scores 5 runs. They lead Clinton 13-2, still batting in the 6th inning across town. Youngblood shows bunt, takes a strike, and a runner thought about stealing third and got back as Wallace got over and covered third base. Two on the count on Jordan Youngblood. Here's the pitch. And ground ball foul outside of third. Count even up now 2-2. Coming up on the 6 o'clock hour. think Keith Parrish back in the studio. He's running the board today. Here's the pitch, and it's high for a ball. Count now full 3-2. Here's the pitch, and strike on the inside corner. Strike 3 called, and it's another strikeout. A Petty Jean Fiber strikeout for Sarah Parrish. 2 outs here in the Heber Springs 7th inning. Four Petty Jean Fiber strikeouts today for Parrish, and that'll bring in Taylor Parker. Parker's 1 for 3 on the day. That was a double back in the 3rd, and takes a strike. And Holland getting a big lead at second. Here's the pitch, and foul back. Count even 1-1. Summer League softball teams coming into the park, starting to fill up even more. Lady Jackets will be on the road Friday as they travel to Morrilton. Here's the pitch, and ball in the dirt. Runner hits for third. Throw there, and safe as she slides in head first. And Holland's over there with 2 outs. Two-one on the hitter, Parker. Foster on deck. 5-0 Heber. We're in the 7th. Here's the pitch, and Tapper back to the mound. Parrish has it over to first, and that'll end the inning. But the damage has been done by the Panthers as they pick up 3 runs on 3 hits in the inning as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Jackets have some work to do. They trail 5-0. Listen to Yellow Jacket softball on the Trip, 94.7.
Visiting with Clay Maxey, your hometown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer. Here's something we don't hear anymore. Prices are dropping at Clay Maxey.
We've just decided with inflation and the way prices are going up on everybody, we wanted to take a real hard look and see how we could help the community by lowering some of our prices. Across the board, we've done everything that we could do to lower prices on our services, our cost of labor, our used inventory. We've got to do it in order to be responsive to our community and our customers.
See the change at ClayMaxeyCDJR.com.
The Black Law Firm is a proud supporter of Clinton High School Yellow Jacket sports. When you need an attorney, call the Black Law Firm. Whether it's an injury accident, criminal defense, DWI, family dispute, Ralph Blagg believes in equal justice for all. Now located in the shopping center at 244 Highway 65 South or on the web at blaglaw.com. The Blagg Law Firm, a proud supporter of Clinton Yellow Jacket sports.
A service of King Sullivan Radio, K234BB and 94.7 FM, KGFL 1110 AM, Clinton.
The Jackets come to bat in the 7th. They trail 5-0. Going to need 4 runners to have a chance. Heber with 3 big insurance runs in the top of the 7th. And it'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters deal. It'll be Kaylee Castle, Olivia Johnson, Sarah Parrish. Anybody gets on. Kate Henry. Parker has been on today. She's retired 5 straight. She retired the first 11. And the pitch is slice. Caught by the first baseman. Slicing off the right-hander's bat. And Haley makes the catch in foul territory. Nice play by Kenna Haley at first. And that'll bring in Olivia Johnson. Olivia's 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch, and a pop fly foul and out of play. Heber today with 5 runs on 8 hits. Here's the 0-1 and a swing and a miss. And now Johnson's behind the count 0-2. $11 strikeouts on the day for Taylor Parker. Here's the pitch and foul back. Johnson stays alive. It's 0-2. Check us down to their last 2 outs here. And the pitch is foul back. Johnson still battling here in the 7th inning. Clinton only 1 hit on the day, 1 hit and 2 walks. Only 3 runners on the day for the Yellow Jackets. Parker has pitched to Jim today. Here's the pitch, and once again, foul back. 3 straight foul balls by Olivia Johnson. She's not going down easy. Here comes Parker's 0-2 and high for a ball, now 1-2. You know, a few years ago we saw a perfect game thrown against the Yellow Jackets by Russ Martin. He's a senior this year at Russellville High School. He was with the Rosebud then as a 9th grader, threw a perfect game. He's headed to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock to play next year. Here's the pitch, and a ground ball hit the second. Fielded by Shannon, and over to first. 2 outs now in the Clinton 7th inning. And the last hope for the Jackets is Sarah Parrish. With a win here, Heber Springs will pretty much clinch first place. And the Jackets and Morrilton will battle for that 2nd spot on Friday at Morrilton. Clinton beat Morrilton 9-3 earlier this year. Heber beat Morrilton 6-3. Here's the pitch, and half swing, foul back to the screen. And Parker trying to finish this one off. Jackets will make the regional tournament. That'll be in a couple of weeks. That will also be at Morrilton. Great complex they have now at Morrilton. Parker with a new softball and ready to go. Here's the pitch. And another half swing and another foul back to the screen. The Jackets are down to their last strike. It's been pretty much a fastball, rise ball day by Taylor Parker. Nothing fancy. Throws a lot of strikes. Parker with 11 strikeouts on the day. She's back on. Parrish is back in. Here's the pitch. And another half swing, another foul back to the screen. 3 identical pitches. Almost 3 identical foul balls. The hitters can kind of see that at the last second, I guess, that that's a rise ball, and they try to hold up. They're just going to end up out of the strike zone. So she's pretty deceptive with that pitch. Is it a fastball at the letters, or is it a rise ball that's going to end up above the letters? Tough on the hitters. Here's the pitch, and low for a ball. And then she'll throw one at the knees, kind of change location, change the hitter's eyes. Count 1-2. And Parker's ready. Here's the pitch. Ooh, almost hit her. And that's 2-2. That was up and in. Parker wheeled out, or check that, Parrish wheeled out of there. Count now 2-2. Jackets trailing 5-0 down to their last strike. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. And that'll end one today. And apropos is Taylor Parker strikes out her 12th hitter of the day. The Yellow Jackets go down in order in the 7th. Your final score, it's Heber Springs 5, Clinton nothing. Stay with us for the wrap-up show. You're listening to Yellow Jacket Softball on the Trip 94.7.
Friday night at the stadium is not the time to worry about your finances. Let First Arkansas Bank and Trust ease your mind with their mobile banking capabilities. You can check your balance, transfer funds between accounts, and even find the nearest ATM for dinner after a road game. The free mobile app is available on the iTunes Store and Android Market. You can cheer loud and proud for the Yellow Jackets because First Arkansas Bank and Trust has you covered. See a branch for more details. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Steve Good at Goods Cash Savers says you can learn a lot about life by playing sports. You may never be the biggest or the fastest, but you can always try to be the very best and give 100%. And that's what they do every day at Goods Cash Saver. Even though they don't have the biggest building, they try to have every item that you might need in groceries. They also overachieve every day in their meat department. So when you're looking for a place to shop, give Goods Cash Saver a try. A supermarket that cares about you and your community and says, go Yellow Jackets.
Towing and recovery is the last thing you think about until you really need it. Then you really want the best. There's only one name to call, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery. They have the largest and latest model recovery fleet in North Central Arkansas. From small towing to heavy-duty towing, Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery on Highway 65 in Clinton is the one to call, 745-2992. That's Justin's Collision Repair Towing and Recovery, 745-2992.
Kick off the season with super fast fiber internet. Pettigene Fiber gives you the home advantage and is the ultimate choice for sports enthusiasts like you. With lightning fast speeds, you'll never miss a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a winning goal again. Say goodbye to buffering and hello to the ultimate sports experience. Call us at 501-745-2493 to sign up. Better internet, better service, and better pricing that will keep you in all the action. You won't want to miss this.
A quick game today. The game started at 6:24. Ended at 6:07. That's 36 minutes. Yeah, I'll do my math here in a minute. But final score today was Heber Springs 5, Clinton nothing. Heber gets 5 runs on 8 hits. They left 4 on base. Clinton no runs on 1 hit, and they left 3 on base. Heber picked up a run in the second inning on a 1-out double and a 2-out single by Kenna Haley. Put Heber up 1-0. Both teams went down in order in the first inning, by the way. Heber picked up a second run in the third inning on a 2-out single by Jordan Youngblood and a 2-out double to drive her home by Taylor Parker. And it was 2-0. And it stayed that way until the 7th inning, as then Heber Springs got 3 insurance runs in the top of the 7th, as they got a leadoff hit from Lake and Shannon, a 1-out hit from Penn Reisman, and then Max Lazo got a base hit to bring in 1 run, and then a Carly Holland laid down a bunt. The Yellow Jackets threw it away at first, and 2 runs scored, and Heber Springs picked up 3 runs on 3 hits in that 7th inning, and to win the game by a score of 5-0. Clinton got their first hit and only hit that came in the 4th inning. They also picked up a runner on a walk in the 4th and a walk in the 5th inning. Got to tip your hat to Taylor Parker today, the Heber Springs pitcher. She pitched 7 innings, struck out 12, only walked 1. Or check that, only gave up 1 hit, walked 2. She retired the first 11 hitters in a row. And when we thought she might be getting tired, she retired the last 8 hitters of the game in a row. So Taylor Parker with a great day for Heber Springs today on the mound. There was the winning pitcher. Sarah Parrish did a great job today for the Lady Yellow Jackets as she kept Heber to 2 runs through the first 6 innings of play. But the Yellow Jackets were not able to break through against Taylor Parker on the mound today for Heber Springs. In fact, Parrish went 7 innings. Gave up 5 runs on 8 hits. Did not walk anybody. We thought if it didn't walk anybody, that might be one of the keys to winning the game today. She didn't walk anybody, and she did have 3 Petty Jean Fiber strikeouts today. Our first Arkansas Bank and Trust player of the game today, that's going to go with the freshman Kaylee Castle. Did a great job behind the plate on defense, and she had the only hit of the game for Clinton, and I believe she's the only Lady Yellow Jacket. Oh, check that, Kate Henry. Her and Kate Henry, the only Lady Yellow Jackets not to have a strikeout today. So Kaylee Castle, the freshman, your first Arkansas Bank and Trust player of the game on defense, had the only hit of the game for Clinton and put the ball in play all 3 times against Taylor Parker, who struck out, who got, of her 21 outs today, 12 were strikeouts. So I want to thank First Arkansas Bank and Trust for all their support of Yellow Jacket Athletics, located in the Cash Saver parking lot in downtown Clinton. For your savings account, your first car loan, your first home loan, they can do it all at First Arkansas Bank and Trust. And as the billboard says, First Arkansas Bank and Trust, Clinton first. And so Yellow Jackets' next game will be on the road Friday at Morrilton. We'll have the broadcast for you at 4:30. That game will now be for second place and second seed going into the regional tournament. So it's a big ball game. Heber now 4-0 in conference play, and Lady Yellow Jackets now 2-2. And so it's a big game as the Jackets will travel to Morrilton on Friday. We'll have that broadcast for you starting at, actually check that, starting at 5 o'clock on Friday from Morrilton. If you can't make it, you can see it all and hear it all on the Trip 94.7 and Yellow Jacket Live Stream Network on KHPQ. I want to thank Keith Parrish back in the studio for all the work he does on the board. Does a great job. I want to thank Crystal Barnett and Sid King for all they do back at the station. You got any type of advertising needs, give them a call at the station, and they'll take care of you. Well, once again, your final score from the ballpark here in Clinton. It's Heber Springs 5, Clinton nothing. Until Friday, thanks for your time this time. Until next time, so long.
Yellow Jacket baseball and softball on Trip 94.7 and 97.3 has been brought to you by these fine sponsors. First Security Bank, Justin's Collision Repair.